2, 3.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Top Deck Productions.
Oh my gosh, are we live already?
We are live already. Top Deck Productions coming at you live. GameSwap Mason outside of the Cincinnati area. We got some hot modern action coming at you.
Yeah, we got this Naya Bloodbraid deck, a deck close to my heart, I'll tell you. Against Patrick Narsavage on Bring to Light Scapeshift. That's a new one for Patrick, I think. This is sort of like a Chad Arthur Dirtle deck, but
a little bit, yeah.
And in fact, it might literally be well, if it were Chad's, it would be full of expeditions.
Yes.
So
it would definitely be foiled.
Looks like Patrick wasted the money all by his own on this shitty deck, you know.
So, is this your Naya Bloodbraid list?
All right, Justin has been fighting it. I think he owes me royalties every time he plays this deck, but he claims that he's not. His deck is something different. He and I played last night in the mirror, and I think the only difference is he's playing 4 Bloodbraid Elves and I'm playing 2.
Okay.
And that he lost the match 2-0. So we'll have to ask him what he's playing. I know he's like I have a lot of spicy 1-ofs, and Justin is really skeptical about the spicy 1-ofs. Like that's why he's jamming 4 elves. And I get that. You know, like he doesn't have the spicy main board Grim Lavamancer, for example, which I really like playing right now because it helps.
Grim Lavamancer has always been one of my favorite fun-of cards.
Yeah, here's the thing. It turns, like I'm not playing Path right now, and I don't think Justin is either.
I definitely saw one when he was shuffling. I for sure saw at least one.
What's cool about the Grim Lavamancer main board is that you can turn your bolts into things that kill things with 4 or 5 toughness.
Okay, that seems reasonable.
If you got to kill, a Tassiger, which is not super common right now, but if you got to kill a Reality Smasher, you can discard 2 cards to it,
Is it spells or abilities?
Actually, no, it's just spells. It's just spells.
So you're only discarding the one.
And it's a Loxodon and Smiter, so it's fine.
The casting of the first spell turns on the Grim Lavamancer.
That's exactly right.
Nice.
That's exactly right. So I've been a real fan of the one Lavamancer. 2 basic islands. Seems a little strange out of Bring to Light Scapeshift. I could be wrong. I know that Chad Arthur Dirtle plays a lot of basics because you are terrified of Blood Moon, and you also want to cast. At least Chad Arthur Dirtle was casting Cryptic Command out of this deck.
I'm definitely seeing a Cryptic Command in Patrick's hands.
It's just kind of weird to play so many basic islands in this 5-color deck,
Now, is that
That's an Is-It Charm. Yeah, that's one of my favorite cards.
That is a good card.
But taking out that voice here seems aggressive unless we have a board wipe follow-up.
I presume, being on the
Bring to Light deck,
yeah, I'm
but you probably got at least 1 sweeper in there.
I would be shocked if you didn't have like a tutorable anger or something.
I think he's probably got the Supreme Verdict, man. I think that's what you do, right?
I've seen both. I've definitely seen both. And this doesn't really strike me as a particularly good field for anger in a general sense.
No, I don't think so either.
So, I'm not entirely certain, but I know being the position of the control player in this matchup, sitting on 2 Cryptics and a Remand,
you got to get rid of that voice.
Definitely gonna get rid of that voice as soon as possible.
Yeah, the only shitty thing here is that you gave him an extra power on board.
Yes.
An extra 2 power now.
And
an extra 3 power.
Flooded his hand. Oh, he just scoops. Oh,
yeah.
Is he dead?
It was 5 plus 3, so yeah, he was.
He's dead. Wow. Okay, so.
Well, that's the thing. That if that voice was not, it probably wouldn't matter. But if that voice were still a voice and not an elemental token, we would have had 3 less power there.
Yes.
But
well, I do think his hand was kind of forced there.
Yeah, I think so. I think so too. Obviously, you can't Cryptic tap his guys and give him another elemental.
Yeah, that's
well.
Pretty brutal. Maybe if he knew he was going to be dead on that following turn. Because
yeah,
if he spikes.
I can actually see main phase tap your guy, draw a card, or sorry, bounce your permanent main phase. That would be fun. Oh hey, wow! I've actually never been on this thing before, so this is
This is new.
This is an experience. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Oh. Make sure you look at the camera. We got a lot of people that just end up looking at themselves.
Oh, this camera right here.
Yeah, this camera right here.
That makes sense.
Which can be a little odd looking back on it when people are just kind of not looking at what's actually going on.
Did I tell you that we are sponsored by Triscuits?
We are.
Let me hold this up a little bit.
However, Mark is pretty stoked about discovery of a shopping mart located directly next to GameSwap Mason.
Yeah, folks, if you didn't have enough reason to come to GameSwap Mason, you shouldn't need to search any longer. There is a value. What is that?
I'm asking. I was trying to be discreet by asking if I could turn this computer on.
Oh,
so
I actually have no idea.
Scott up in the front, who is running the booth for us. Okay, we are good to turn on the computer.
Yes, we will engage with chat. We very much love our fans.
Yes, love our fans.
Fans of the Victor and Mark show.
And this is the first time we've done this together, which is kind of exciting. Normally I'm with Hunter, and normally you are with Mario, but
Mario Andretti.
Up a little bit.
Yep. So
I'm pretty excited, you know.
Yeah, I'm excited.
We got a lot of good stuff to talk about. The Cincinnati Team Open was just this past weekend. Both teams played in it.
A precursor to Cincinnati Reds opening day today.
Ooh,
so that's pretty fun.
Cool.
Yep. You've been following.
I don't give a shit about baseball.
Okay, well, let me make you give at least a little shit for about 10 seconds here. If you haven't been following Cincinnati baseball, this is kind of a strange year. Usually opening day parade and opening day are on the same day. Not this year. In fact, yesterday was rained out, but that's not actually the cause. The parade is on Monday. Opening day was scheduled for Thursday yesterday, and that's because the MLB wanted all national opening days to align with one another, which actually kind of screws the Reds because the Reds have the oldest team and the oldest opening day in the country, and so for us it was kind of like a big hoorah, a big celebration, a circle jerk of Reds baseball culture. And we really got the short end of the stick by this unification of opening day because it makes our day no longer special. We don't get to kick off the season, so to speak. Anyway, I'm done. All right, that's all you got about Cincinnati baseball, just for those of you out there who care.
I was moderately interested.
Well,
I was mostly farting around with this computer, so
well,
I didn't hear a super lot of it.
Yeah, farting around is fine.
Having some difficulty, TBH fam. Not really certain what's going on here.
Okay, so here's why we're playing basic islands. We got Sakura Tribe Elder, we got to have enough basics to find with it. I see. That's fine. That's fine.
And I do see a Scapeshift hiding around in Patrick's hand, so he's got his win con.
Sure.
Now he's just got to get to, presumably, I'm going to guess 8. I don't think he's going to be able to Scapeshift on 7 too reliably. I can see some situations where you get blown out just by like a lightning helix or something, although I'd be surprised if that was in the deck still.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you probably don't want it.
You never know. I've learned to never play around what I think the correct thing my opponent should be doing is.
That's right.
Especially as a Death Shadow player, you'll die to a lot of lightning bolts that you believe to have been boarded out. I
believe it. So Justin with the turn 1 bird 2 games in a row here, which is interesting because I assume he's only playing 1 bird. He'd probably like it to be a hierarch instead of a bird.
Yes.
But
he also started on a turn 1 bird last game as well.
Yep. What's interesting here is Justin's got he's got only 1 fetch land in the art here, so this knight is a 3/3. This board could get blown out by a number of spells from Patrick. Sweltering Suns, Anger of the Gods, like we talked about earlier. But even I don't.
Is Sweltering Suns a common card that you see him play nowadays?
You definitely see it in red-green Scapeshift. Usually in the main, like you might see the Angers in the sideboard, but a lot of people like to play it in the main board so you can cycle it away. But still have a sweeper.
There's a lot of things to cycle. Ooh, and we got Jace here to bounce.
Okay, Jace, baby. Jace. Well, that's not what I was expecting,
Jace,
but I'm fine with that.
That is good.
But we do get shit on by Bloodbraid Elf here.
You would kind of get savaged by it, but and let's see if I'm not seeing it.
I don't see it either.
Which is a nice little. It's gonna make this game much easier. For our boy Patrick, I would imagine. He's also sitting on the lightning bolt. Honestly, though. If I'm gonna be honest here, I could see an argument. I'm not saying it's right, but I can definitely see an argument for just like main phase bolting the knight there while you have an opportunity to bolt and just hold up a remand, because I do see that in his hand as well.
Oh, that Patrick has bolt remand?
Patrick has bolt remand.
Oh, that's definitely what you should have done.
Because it plays around that Bloodbraid a little bit better. You do you get punished.
Well, and you might not have another. I mean, now this knight's gonna be a 4/4. You might not have another elegant answer to it. I mean, you gotta. If you can kill a knight with a bolt, you got to do it. I've always felt that way.
Same with Tarmogoyf.
Completely
if
agree.
2/3 with an instant in the yard, you got.
Doesn't matter what your other play is, do it now.
Because unless if you have like another clean answer,
like a push or something.
I think that is if he had.
But we know the Spring Delight Scapeshift deck is not all about clean answers.
No, it is not. And I can see an argument for him just trying to buy time potentially, but you just get so destroyed by Bloodbraid Elf here that. It's a little bit hard for me to buy into that.
No, I completely agree.
You would kind of get a little bit punished by something like a Locksmith Smiter. Funny enough, that might kind of mess up your vibe, but
sure,
not really too sure. And how did Jace take one there?
He swung for one with the bird. Yep.
The exalted trigger for the Kasali Pride Mage is what did it there.
Yep.
Forgot about that little.
Yeah, not as good as playing a Bloodbraid Elf there, but I guess it's fine.
And we see brought an Obstinate Baloth, which is a card that is good, and he's taken some damage here. And I presume he's maybe just gonna Wrath here. I see a Bring to Light in his hand.
Yeah. So I understand Justin's line. Justin played Pride Mage instead of the Voice in his hand, with the intent to swing one at Jace. Is that really worth it?
No. I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, because what it does is it means, okay, well, if I put the Jace to 1 instead of 2 loyalty, if he wants to bounce a guy, he has to get rid of the Jace, but he's not going to bounce the guy.
No.
I mean, he's going to Brainstorm or plus, I mean, he's going to do anything but bounce a guy. If you played the Voice here, you wouldn't have gotten blown out by this Bolt. I mean, now you're back to 0 power on board.
And this is an interesting question if you remand this or not. I would say I might just to have an opportunity to do so.
I mean,
because you're likely going to end the game following turn anyway.
Right.
So
yeah.
I might just.
No, I think
there. If he wants to cast.
I think the remands. I mean, especially because you don't want to remand when the Voice is out. So, so I like the remand here. I mean, if you remand, you again keep Justin on 0 power on board with an active Jace. So.
And that is what he decides to do.
A good play, Patrick. Should have bolted the Knight, but you're doing well.
And another Voice, or same Voice.
Same Voice. Well, it could be another one. Maybe not. What's that card in the front of Justin's? Oh, that's a Path.
I see a Path, which...
So definitely should have come out here.
Yeah, I'm not maybe he foresaw something like the Obstinate Baloths coming in. He just wanted 1 or 2 answers and just happened to draw it. But
yeah, that's not an answer to Baloth against the Bring to Light Scapeshift deck.
No, it is not.
When you're giving your opponent a land. Oh.
And Patrick has not made a land drop and has a Scapeshift in hand, so kind of playing with his food here a little bit with the Jace.
Sure, yeah.
I don't think I
playing with his food. That's funny.
Mess around with really doing anything with it. I think I just show my opponent the Scapeshift and ask them politely to concede, and if they want to make me run through the motions, sure.
Though it is true that unlike a red-green deck or even a Teamer Scapeshift deck, you don't necessarily have all the you don't have a land package that reliably shells out a bunch of damage. I guess 18 is the minimum, right, to get online. But sometimes, like especially a Rug Scapeshift deck, and probably more so Bring to Light, you can actually not have. Oh, Justin, make him show it to you. Oh, okay.
I also like how just to run down the clock a little bit. Patrick had the Scapeshift in hand, but chose to Bring to Light for a different Scapeshift.
Yeah, he wants to make sure his opponent knows what he's playing.
And he does. And he does have 2 mana in the pool right now. He made sure to float all of his mana, so there's that. We have somebody asked, do artifact vehicles add 2 for Tarmogoyf? No. Yes.
Yeah. They are artifacts.
Well, they are artifact creatures.
They are artifacts and creatures. Yep.
Okay,
so they do,
yes, they do,
which is why Smuggler's Copter is actually like a pretty sweet card as a one-of in a lot of Tarmogoyf decks. I've seen a Smuggler's Copter in like Rug decks, which is pretty cool. I've never seen it in Jund, but I could get behind that. In Abzan, you can crew with Lingering Souls.
As a Kolaghan's command proponent, and
well,
if
sure.
my opponent decides to throw in a cheeky artifact, I'm always down to blow that up for value. Am I right?
That's true. But in Abzan, so for one, Kolaghan's command is probably more ubiquitous now than it ever has been. Yeah.
Even though I will say, I feel like Jund lists nowadays are either playing 1 Kolaghan's command or 3.
I've seen 2 main board. I've seen 1 main, 1 side. I'm not sure I've seen 3.
I know, like Owen Turtenwald, his most recent article concerning Jund. This was like sometime last week. He was a proponent of playing basically as many as you could get in your deck, just because it's so disgusting with our Bloodbraid Elf friend. But like somebody like Jadine, whatever her last name is, Clomp Parents or whatever, a big SCG Tour player, has only really been playing 1.
Yeah,
kind of polarizing the curve around, like, just not playing as many 3-drops, so that way she can do as many double spell turns as possible.
Yeah, I totally understand the argument that, like, getting back Bloodbraid is sweet and hitting it with Bloodbraid is sweet. But I think I tend to agree with there are a lot of matchups where you just can't afford to have that many 3-drops stuck in your hand. And even though Colligan's is a powerful 3-drop, you know, you're hard pressed to, you know, like, it's supposed to be great against Affinity, right?
Right.
And most of the time it is, but if you have multiples in your hand, and you know, if your opening hand is some lands, like, you know, 4 lands, a Goyf, and 2 Colligan's Command, you'd probably rather have 4 lands, a Colligan's Command, a Goyf, and a Bolt, just because if you actually don't have an interactive spell until turn,
interaction is pretty important.
It definitely important. I mean, and you know, against humans, a 3-mana spell to only get 2 damage, the discard might not be relevant. Getting back a guy might not be relevant. They haven't killed any of your guys. I mean, so I definitely think it's awkward sometimes, even in the matchups where you'd think you'd want as many Colligan's Command as possible.
But Colligan's Command is nice against humans because sometimes you just get that shatter value with those Aether
with
Vials.
the Aether Vial, yeah, that's
It can depend. It can
of course,
range from being.
You got to ask yourself: is taking out that vial on your 3rd turn, especially if they were on if they were on the play, how good is taking out that turn 3 vial? Not good.
Yeah, it's not great. That's not typically.
They already put a champion of the parish and Athalia's lieutenant out there, and they screwed you with it.
It's so important. Talking about human, you know what? I'm gonna hold off on the humans conversation.
Okay.
I got a lot to talk about.
A lot to talk about.
Lot to talk about.
Love those people. I am one, in fact.
Ooh, Courser.
I like Courser.
Is this a card that you play?
I've played it off and on. I've never played more than 2 copies.
I'm seeing a Blood Moon also in Justin's hand, so we'll see how much he wrecks Patrick here. If I'm Patrick, I'm probably not thinking about it just because.
Yeah.
You know, I don't play around Blood Moon.
So one thing I'll say, I've watched Chad Arthur Dirtle destroy a Blood Moon with this Bring to Light Scapeshift deck simply because he had so many. Like, I think he ended up casting a Cryptic Command through the Blood Moon and just killed his opponent.
Patrick does have
two basic forests.
At least 2 of his basic
I think this Bring to Light Scapeshift deck is playing like 7 basics.
And we see the classic combo of Blood Moon in hand, Path to Exile also in hand.
Yeah.
You know? That's
classic.
One of my favorite parts.
Yeah, I've only played Blood Moon like once in Naya, and I resolved it on turn 2 against Tron at an SCG, and I lost the match. And I lost that game. I lost that game. And it was in game 3, and I turned 2 Blood Mooned him, and he just played no stone on curve, cracked the O stone, and I'm like, all right, well, never playing you again.
So getting in for 2, pondering some options. He's gonna probably jam the Moon here, which I imagine will meet his friend Remand, and then we'll likely meet Remand again on the following turn.
Blood Moon's like not even, you know, in this match. I mean, I don't know how well Justin knows these Bring to Light Scapeshift decks, but like, how good is that card when your opponent is playing the card Sakura Tribe Elder, and also you saw 2 basic islands game 1. I don't know, like it seems super sketch to me bringing it in, but
so now Patrick's at a bit of an impasse here. He's got to decide, does he want to play? I believe he has a Tribe Elder in his hand. I'm not entirely sure, but I know for sure he's got a Remand. So I think he's just kind of deciding.
Yeah, I think you could just play this Misty and hold up Remand.
One of the funny things about this Blood Moon plan that Justin is going on now is his mana's kind of pretty bad.
Yeah.
Especially with this colorless land in play. So if he gets remanded on the following turn, he'll have to like fetch Shock.
Yep.
Well, I mean, he won't be able to cast it twice anyway. He's not going to have 6 mana, but it's just another little thing to think about is the
Bloodbraid Elf. Bloodbraid Elf would be really good here.
We see Athalia. I think that is interesting. I'm not sure if you really want it at this juncture.
Yeah, it'd be okay. Yeah, Bloodbraid with Courser on with revealing your top is pretty cool. It's a nice synergy. Let's see if this one resolves. Nope. Okay.
Tasted.
So do we think Patrick goes ahead and gets a basic island?
I think probably. He just drew a Search for Tomorrow as well off that remand, so he's basically chilling on these colors. So,
all right, do we think that Patrick will fetch end of turn, or will he wait till his upkeep or main phase? I think he should wait till his main phase to determine whether or not he wants a basic island. Because I think he wants some more lands, but he's probably going to take the bait and fetch it end of turn, which is the.
He's thinking right now. I mean, he's got a lot of lands in hand, so
well, he's got Steam Vents Forest. That's it, right?
He's got, I believe, a Breeding Pool as well. There's definitely one other one, so he may just be fetching just to
just a thin.
Just that thin. Whether or not that's relevant mathematically.
Well, yeah, it almost never is, but it's almost always more, unless you're saving yourself a life, it's almost always more important to just try to get the info.
I definitely think that's reasonable. You know, that's one of the nice things about Death Shadow is you're basically shocking all the time anyway, so it really doesn't matter.
That's right. That's right.
So now Patrick, you know, readjusting himself, getting comfortable, pondering, going in the tank, if you will. He's sitting on a...
Oh, that's a flooded grove. Okay.
That's a flooded... Okay.
Thought it was a breeding, but that's a flooded grove.
So
I like that play.
Looks like he's just tapping out for the...
Yeah.
Okay, I'm kind of into that, honestly.
That's the other awkward... Well, yeah, now he can play 2-mana spell if he has one.
And now he can... Yeah, he can... Justin's like, wait, can you do that? Yes, I can do that.
What's interesting, and another bad reason to have brought in Blood Moon, is Bring to Light casts everything in the deck for just 2 colors, you know? We just need 2 basic lands,
well,
one forest and 1 island.
It is kind of awkward with the Converge.
Well, you get anything 3 or less. So I guess you can't get Scapeshift because you'll be off red. Or you'll only have red, but you'll be off black or white. But
well, he's got white cards, and he's got a Supreme Verdict in his hand, which I'm interested to see if he's going to be able to cast that. I don't know if he has the second basic planes. I don't really think he cares too much. I think he's just going to kill his opponent next turn. No, he's not, because his opponent is above the threshold. However,
yeah, 21's a healthy life total here.
And he is able to bring to light for a Scapeshift here. He's got the requisite colors to do so. So this Blood Moon is really not done much of anything. Also sitting on a path in his hand, which also is not going to be likely to do anything.
Do we think...
Just think about this for a moment. Justin spent 9 mana in this game trying to resolve this Blood Moon.
Yeah, think if it were a Loxodon Smiter instead. Baloth's pretty good.
Baloth is pretty good. That'll cover the ground quite well.
Hopefully Justin will path it and give Patrick a basic land to go off and kill him.
I'm pretty certain that our boy Justin is just dead here, barring something really wacky. Like, what's that one red card from Kamigawa that if they're at 10 deals exactly?
Oh, it's Hidetsugu's Vengeance or something. It comes from the card Heartless Hidetsugu, I think.
That would be sweet.
Yep, that would be sweet.
We got a knight.
That knight is a 4/4.
I presume that's okay. Yeah, that is planes under there. I was not sure, but unfortunately, Justin's draw was just not as fast as his game 1 draw, and I think that's ultimately just going to lead to him dying quickly, or not quickly, slowly actually. Turn 6, but Path to Baloth. Okay.
So we're gonna swing for 4, put you to 12.
Shout out to you for giving me an extra land. Some Mo damage.
Which one do we think we're getting here? Probably the island, yep.
I mean, the Bring to Light for the Scapeshift is not lethal quite yet, but with 1 more land it will be. Currently he's only going to be able to produce 18, so I'm assuming Justin is just praying that he's not going to get there. But can you flip? I mean, you can flip the search here. Oh? I'm not sure if he missed the trigger there or not, but doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Unless if maybe he's like has an awkward number of mountains in his deck, but I doubt that'll be an issue.
What if Justin counters this Bring to Light by pitching his own Bring to Light to Disrupting Shoal? How would we feel about that?
Bad, probably.
I'd feel pretty bad if I were.
There's only 1 card in Justin's hand, however. Maybe like a Unified Will. That's something a little bit more reasonable.
Yeah. Well, he's not holding up mana. Oh, yeah, yes, he is with the birds. Sure.
Wow.
All right. Could be a Unified Will. Actually, he can't cast Unified Will through this Thalia, so.
And well, I guess the Blood Moon does actually turn off the Scapeshift kill, so he's got to kind of fart around for a little bit as well. Forgot about that.
Oh yeah, but he can get a Bring to Light. Can't he just Bring to Light, get an answer for Blood Moon?
Yeah, but then he'll need another
Bring to Light,
another method in which to murder his opponent. But I mean, he's got the he can.
Well, he has the verdict. Is that a verdict in hand?
He does. He's had that verdict in his hand for a long time. So I'm curious as to what Patrick is lining up here. He may have mana to Bring to Light for something to blow up the moon and then wrath the board and then just kind of be sitting on parity. Which is I kind of like that.
Yeah, so the question is, does he have a way, if he has a second verdict, he can bring to life. Yeah, the problem is he can't cast this verdict because he lacks double white.
Yes, at the moment. And now it just depends what is in Patrick's deck. I'm actually going to look up some bring to light Scapeshift.
I do know that he and Robert Meadows are playing the same 75 today.
Let's go to MTG Goldfish. Do you think that's going to be a good spot to
That's a good one.
All right. Ooh, Arnold Schwarzenegger's first words after surgery. Curious as to what they were. Maybe like, what's up?
Have you seen the movie Kindergarten Cop?
I cannot say I have.
Maybe he said, it's not a tumor. Okay, anyway, he's in that movie.
Right. Let's go to the metagame.
So, it looks like... So, Patrick just put Scapeshift in the yard. Now are we just going to dig with Search for His contest, see what we can get?
Well, oh, whoa, he just scoops. Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
I guess he just had no answer to that Blood Moon in his entire deck. That seems strange. Or does Bring to Light
I
say
guess
only specific things, or is it?
It gets creatures, sorceries, and instants, I believe.
Did he just not board anything in or board out anything that could have possibly been an answer to that? That is surprising.
I don't. Well, he could. I think he could have gotten cryptic commit. Like I said, Chad Arthur Dirtle won through a Blood Moon pretty easily a couple months ago.
No, I mean,
he just got a
Blood Moon Scapeshift opponents had it cryptic at end step and then just bounced.
Yeah. So Patrick at the very least could have gotten a crypt unless he took cryptics out. I didn't think that Blood Moon was really a problem.
Wow, yeah, that's really interesting. I'd like to talk to Patrick to see what his rationale was.
Well, I guess one interesting thing is, so if you...
Well, okay, so hold on. Mr. Pony Slay Station said no, he has enough mana to do that with Thalia out. That is the...
Thalia only makes Bring to Light cost a total of 2 more. It makes the Bring to Light cost 1 more, and then it makes the free spell cost 1 more. But he definitely had mana to do that.
Well, he had 5, 6, 7, 8 in play on that turn. Flipped the Azcon to 9, and then he could have made another land drop going to 10 mana. So...
I mean, he could have... I mean, couldn't he have... So, if you Bring to Light for 6, the spell coming off for free, that's 7 right there. You have to bounce the Blood Moon that turn. But yeah, I guess if you wanted the Verdict in the same turn, that would cost you 11 total, 12 total. But I don't think he had to do that to win necessarily. Maybe he did. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, it's just tough to say because these toolbox decks really have options.
Got a lot of things, yeah.
Basically, whatever they want to play on that particular week. So I guess he just had no answer there. If he could get creatures, I would like to see something like a...
A Reclamation Sage? Yeah, Rec Sage would definitely be good.
Like, Rec Sage would have probably just won him the game there, but I just guess he doesn't have it. I'm still looking around. I'm still perusing.
If you're gonna play, it makes you wonder though. If you're gonna play Bring to Light for that purpose, well, I guess it's the same. You might as well play Kasali Pride Mage.
Yeah.
But if you have the colors to cast Bring to Light, you definitionally have 3 colors because the third one being red through the Blood Moon.
I'm gonna double check to make sure. Yeah, it's creature, instant, or sorcery. So we got Patrick back here. I presume you had no Reclamation Sage in your deck.
No, I did not expect. I don't know why I didn't expect him to have.
Well, we thought it was a weird card for him to bring in too. So I wasn't expecting it.
Blood Moon's not a card I expect to bring in. So the cards that you can bring to light for to deal with Blood Moon are Back to Nature and Destructive Revelry out of the board.
Back to Nature and Destructive Revelry.
Destructive Revelry. That's interesting. I wouldn't have thought of that.
Didn't have Thalia. I would have been able to win that game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can bring light for Cryptic, bounce the Blood Moon, then cast
Yeah, because I guess that total play with the Thalia is 12 mana, is that right?
Yeah, and you had 10? 11.
I think it's 12, right?
So you need 6 for the Bring to Light, 1
for the spell, and then
4 for Scapeshift.
5. So thank you for checking my math for me and telling me I was correct.
It was really awkward because the opening hand that Kevin had the Supreme Verdict in it.
Yeah, we saw that Supreme Verdict sitting.
Yeah, the fact that he didn't have double white was tough. We actually, originally, since Victor and I are idiots, we actually didn't fully realize the gravity of the Blood Moon and the Thalia, especially in tandem.
Yeah.
Until you scooped, pretty much. we were like, oh yeah, I guess you can't do any of those things. Yeah. Yeah, life sucks and then you die. That's what I learned playing Magic.
Dark.
Yeah.
Basically.
So,
Did you describe yourself as a nihilist?
No. Did I mention that we are sponsored by Triscuit?
We're also sponsored by. Hold on.